It's all for you. Yeah, yo. There whenever it matters, and even more when you feel like it doesn't. Protect you so you never feel like you wasn't. Know I'm right alongside you. Either that or I'm behind you, but always got you. End the discussion, nothing means more. First one to offer is shoulders for what you reach for. Thought I saw the eyes of the world until I seen yours. And know that I ain't see a better view yet. I'm with whatever, so don't ever you fret. Know that you covered, not a hurdle or a heartbreak. A change will partake, cause none of them won't ever get comfortable in your walkway. My job is to aware you, fully loaded, prepare you for all of the above that I'm never letting get near you. But still in all, give you every advantage I found. Couldn't find a better fit for them, along with my crown. And since the baton was passed, I've been down. Cause failing's not an option, and dad is not a noun, not at all.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Ishmael from Dad Is Not Noun, and this episode is brought to you by
BIPOCPRO. We are tired of hearing people say they can't find qualified, reliable people of color to serve on boards, fill top positions at major companies, or to help grow a business. BIPOCPRO is a platform where that talent exists, and folks that are looking for these people can find them. Can log on, begin connecting. No more excuses. These businesses and our country deserve more.
Awesome, dope. And I'm truly happy and honored. All right, I'm gonna go in LeBron James mode right now. He is a devoted husband, father, entrepreneur, not one, but two-time Grammy Award winner, underrated producer, lyrical genius, and a podcaster. I want to welcome speech from the legendary Arrested Development. Thank you, brother. Thank you for jumping on.
It's my pleasure, brothers. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me, man.
And I did that in one breath.
You did it. You did it.
All right, and then I'm excited because you have this project out called Don't Fight Your Demon. And then also you have a project coming out October 23rd called The Expansion. Myself, personally, I feel I'm a person that's into album covers. So can you kind of talk about the album cover? Because I know it was a photograph by, I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, Godiva, Godiva, and it was an image called Black Magic Part 2. So can you kind of talk about the importance of that album cover and the title?
Yeah, I love the album cover because to me it's this part beautiful and part a little spooky, look to it. And it's beautiful, dark sister, but the way she's holding her hands is like you're not totally sure what's going on there. And to me, that's what this album is. Don't Fight Your Demons is a very interesting album title. So like people are going to be curious, like, well, what does he mean? Because I think a lot of people think it's a mistake. Like maybe they meant to say fight your demons, but to don't fight your demons, there's a deeper meaning to that. And it's not the obvious of like, well, let your demons do whatever they want to you. It's not that. So I thought that the picture matched the sort of the vibe of what this record is about. And this record goes really deep. And the artist, I met him through IG actually. His work was work that I admired anyway. And I asked him if he would do, if I could use a particular picture for the cover. And at first he was, well, I charge this amount. And I said, man, I don't even have a budget for this at all. Like, so it's all good. I totally understand if you can't do it. And then he said, okay, cool, we out, and that was it. And then he wrote back and said, you know what, let's just do this. And he's really grateful he did it. And I'm really grateful he did it. It's an incredible cover. And it totally fits the music.
And it does, man, and it's dope. And then also talk about how you linked up with Configure, because this is the first time you worked with Configure, because this is Configure from London. So how did y'all guys link up?
My man Jahi, who's from Enemy Radio, Public Enemy Radio, and him did an album called Future Forward. I forget which way it goes. Dope album, I loved it. And then I connected with Configure from that, and then I've never met him in person. We've only talked via like this or on the phone or just making tracks, sending tracks or through WeTransfer or email and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I always respected him as a musician since I've known about him. And we really just had a mutual respect for each other. And we started working together. And this has been the best Arrested Development album since the first joint to me. So I'm really proud of it.
And it is, but it's a banger. Go ahead, Ray.
Back Down is in my gym music routine. That song.
I love that.
I'm pretty sure
That song,
LeBron
that is
and Anthony Davis listened to that song before they won the championship last night.
That's right.
What
that was,
did
I
you
agree.
do?
That song right there. Go ahead, Rod. What you say?
Yo, no, I was gonna say, did you what made you create this? Was it during what's happening now, or was this something sitting in your artillery for a long time?
No, it wasn't. It was during the times when the George Floyd riots were happening, the marches was happening across the planet Earth. I mean, literally, you know, my man Chris Acosta wrote the track, and as soon as I heard that track, I was like, if this isn't boom bap in its heart and soul, like this is what boom bap is. This is that KRS-One, you know what I'm saying, like that type of boom bap from that premiere KRS-One record, you know. It's that kind of boom bap. And I was like, yo, I gotta deliver on this joker like never before. And I feel I did, and I'm really proud of it. It's like it's the perfect start of the record. At first it was gonna be the 5th song on the record. And I kept toying around with putting it number 1 or 5. And my worry was if I put it number 1, would the rest of the record be disappointed? And so that was my worry. And so I decided to put it number 1 because I felt like anybody that's doubting where Arrested Development's at right now, I wanted to catch you off guard. Like I wanted people to think Mr. Wendell, people every day.
Yeah, man.
And then you hear this, and it's like, what?
That's what I'm like, whoa.
That's exactly what I wanted people to feel. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, what is? You know, I wanted that kind of energy, and I also like when Tribe released what's the song For the People? I think it's called,
right?
Or the People. That song to me smacks in a way that a Tribe. I mean, Tribe always is great, but they always had more of a, I don't know, it was a little smoother. Yeah, it was laid back and that smooth energy. And this one, that joint just smacked. And I said, you know what? I want Arrested Development to come that same energy this time. And so, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely felt that energy. And then also, too, especially with COVID now, and I know a lot of artists are hurting. And the one thing I love about you, too, is that you're an entrepreneur. You come from a legacy of entrepreneur. Your mom and your dad were entrepreneurs. You know, when you were younger, your family, your mom, dad would send you to Tennessee to stay with your grandmother. So can you kind of talk about having that both worlds of learning the understanding of being an entrepreneur, but as well as not to forget where you came from?
To me, they both match because knowing where you come from, we are creators. We are innovators. We always have been since times. We created the entire human race. We created mathematics. We created health. We created education. People from Rome used to come to study under the feet of our African scholars. So we're creators. We're innovators. And I felt like the farming and the on the land experience that I had with my grandmother in rural Tennessee, to me, is the same with entrepreneurship in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a city in the Midwest. It's the point is, make with the things you have, at your disposal, make the best with those and make it happen. Make it happen. Don't stand by and wait for someone to give you anything. Make it happen with what you have.
I honestly feel that Black people are starting to see that now. And now you're starting to see this renaissance of businesses starting to pop up with Black people. So
I agree. The only thing I'll say, the thing that I'm worried about with us as a people is we're starting to see it because Trump is so anti-Black that it's forced us to rely on each other. But if there ever became another moment, which it could be if Trump gets voted out of office, which I hope he does, what might happen is that if the government starts acting friendly towards us, we might go right back to being comfortable again instead of doing what we should do, which is rely on each other, focus on it. So I'm not saying don't vote or anything like that. I'm just saying we've got to not allow this to be a trend because it's been so harsh against us with this particular administration that we feel like we have to, do for self. I hope we stay doing for self no matter who's in the office.
And I feel that, and that portrays into your podcast, which I'm a big fan, is the Everyday People podcast. And then also talk about the Nigger Factory.
Yes.
Talk about how that kind of on your YouTube channel came together?
Yeah, I wanted to do Nigga Factory. It's a 3-part documentary, which I've only done 2 parts to it so far. That's a
Still
long
waiting, man.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the patience for real. It has been such a struggle. I talk about it on my YouTube channel and the struggle of getting part 3 out. But part 1 and 2 was something that I felt since 90s, since the 90s, early 90s, where this whole idea of us being niggas is this derogatory imagery of us being thugs, untrustworthy, hypersexualized, uneducated, lower level people has been portrayed on us since early media. I mean, it's the first media, really, the first huge film, Birth of a Nation, I think it was, or did the same thing. It portrayed us as these, dangerous, horrible human beings. It has been doing that pretty much since. And not just in movies, but in music and science books and all types of academia books. So Nigga Factory addresses that. And it's my hope is to change our mindset from embracing this nigga ideology and being Africans. I talk about it in People Every Day song back in 92, where I talk about the nigga and the African in that song. And I don't use the word nigga loosely, right, and I don't use it as a term of endearment. I talk about it as, it's this battle between the African, who we really are, and this nigga that we've been sort of formed into over the years by media and education and so on and so forth.
And then the last thing I want to encompass everything in is, we come from the culture of the boom bap era, but there's the dark side to it. Like a lot of artists were taking advantage because they didn't know the business side of it. In this new world that we live in, where everything is based on stream, how have you adapted your business model when it comes to making music and releasing music in this time?
It's a great question, and I have to blaze because I have an interview. I'm gonna tell you the answer right quick. I've had to get hands-on is more than ever before. I mean, what my label used to do, I no longer have a label to do that. My label is my company. I have about 4 employees that are full-time and other people that work for me as auxiliary employees. But really, I'm online, and especially Configure and I, he's a beast online. I love his drive and his hunger. So me and him are great partners to get online and just keep pushing the record, keep telling people about this record. And, thank God it's starting to reach newer levels of influence. DJ Vlad is doing something on it. I just did an interview with him. He's probably the biggest network in America. Then we're doing one in London with, I forget his name, but he's really big in London. And I didn't know who he was, but Configure did. My point is just trying to push it to get it out to more and more people and bigger influencers, because that's the new name of the game. So the label thing is, it's pretty much not a real reality for most artists.
Again, Speech, thank you for taking your time. We're talking to us. That was a great conversation. People out there, go get that album, Don't Fight Your Demon. It is a classic. It's a gem. It's one of those hip hop gems because, in our culture, it's always something we always go back 20 years or 30 years from now and say, you know what, this is a classic. So Speech, thank you again. Thank you for the time, brother.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Much respect with this book too.
Man, I'm happy you got it, because with the post office, a lot of stuff is going crazy right now. So I'm just happy you got the book, brother. And we got to do this again. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but hopefully down the road we can have a longer conversation, because there's a lot we want.
I would like that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make that happen.
All right. Thank you.
So, thank you, brother. Peace, man. Wow. That was dope. What do you think, bro?
I messed up, man, but but yes, it was great. It's amazing. It was amazing.
But as what did you think about having that conversation with Speech when it going into now what you were doing with you're a co-creator of black.collective.com. Talk about that a little bit, bro.
So black.collective is a website where it's basically what it says. It's empowerment at your fingertips. So all the articles we have is about empowering Black people, what Black people, celebrities, regular Black people are doing across America, across the world. I'm going to have on there places to travel in Africa, because Black people have a stigma that ain't nothing over there but people with flies crawling all over them, which is not true. We come from a country, I'm sorry, not a country, come from a continent that's, if there was not the interference of white supremacy, we'd probably be living in a real Wakanda. So we come from that aspect. So I'm gonna have that on there. I have mental health on there, Black therapists, Black influencers that can, you know, pick you up and stuff like that. I have Black gun stores on there, stuff like that, because Black people, I do believe we need to protect ourselves, especially in these times. Just a whole bunch of articles on there about empowerment. I have Black inventors, Black people that regular Black people have not heard of, that just get fallen by the wayside. So, I mean, I love the website. I love what is going on. We're going to have another arm of that, which is BIPOC. It's basically a Black LinkedIn. So now people like the chairman of Wells Fargo can't say he can't find Black people who are worth coming to his place. We're going to have everything right there for job recruiters, headhunters, all of that. All companies that are looking for qualified, top-notch Black people, we will have that on our platform. So, and then we have a couple more projects that are coming down the pipeline. Once we get closer to releasing, I'll keep you informed with that. So
that's dope. That's dope, man. Bro, again, I thank you for this quick moment of bliss, I would say.